All right, hopefully my audio is pretty good. I don't know. Let's see. Right now we're just cruising, and hopefully the internet's pretty good too in this area. But yeah, man, your boy rocking out. What's today? Wednesday. Wednesday, trying to get over the. I guess some people will call this what hump day for Wednesday. For me, this I only got one more day worth of work. But yeah, so hopefully my audio's good. We rolling. Camp 9 on the highway pushing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when y'all let me know my audio is good, I'll kind of get into what I was trying to talk about. But I always like to make sure that the audio is good, especially when I'm trying to do this on the go and on the move. You know what I'm saying? Um, what up, bro? What up, West Side TMZ? How's my audio, man? How's my audio, West Side? I seen you on the I seen you on the live too, West Side. You was comedy. That was hilarious. Seeing you and the good fellas go back and forth. I got a good laugh out of that. Um, he says, "Where you driving to, Sasua?" I wish, man. I wish. Sounds good. Okay, cool. Now I wish I was driving to Sasua. Jeez, I ain't gonna lie. I'll be over here like I can't wait till my next trip. But as you see, I'm at work on the grind. It ain't my life's not really set up where I could travel um more than a certain time a year. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna get it in as much as I can. So I'm just being strategic with my traveling and all of that. But I'm already, like I said, I don't know if you guys watched or all you guys caught a live that I did where I'm gearing up for a trip. My next trip will be to Colombia, Medellin, however you say it. So I've been looking at hotels. I've been doing all the research on the back end because that's gonna be my next trip. So I'm already putting that together and working on that. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know, I've been working the third shift lately, and anybody ever works third shift, it's torture because it feels like you go to work twice in one day. Because, like, say I'll typically end work like when I'm on third shift, like 5 in the morning, and I'll start work at 5 in the afternoon. So it feels like I'm going to work twice in one day, and it is brutal. Thank God for me, I only work 4 days out of the week, but it is a brutal 4 days. The first, like Monday, is pretty cool because obviously I'm rested up over the weekend. I've been able to sleep in. But after that, I'm dragging my butt across the finish line. You're the only we're that keeps it real. Don't lie and talk millionaire talk for sure. I appreciate it. Um, it's mango time. Okay. Yeah, man. I'll be keeping it a buck because I don't see what people get out of that. Making like I don't try to impress other dudes. I don't really get the point of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my life is set up the way it's set up, and but I'm always trying to make forward progress. But I always feel like for me, I want whatever I'm doing to be sustainable. So I don't mind, building brick by brick. Slow and steady. You know what I'm saying? To get where I'm trying to go. Put in my work. And I always like to do things that ring true to me because some things can be like what do you call those? Uh, I forgot a new trend or something. And then we know what happens with trends. They typically come and go. So I try to just stay doing what's true to me, and I try not to hop on certain trends if it don't ring true to me. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of create my own wave and but trust in the process and trust and believe in whatever it is that I'm doing. Because like we see like in life, what works for someone else does not mean it would necessarily work for you. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of do what works for me. But like I said, man, I'm busting my tail in this truck on the grind. But it is rewarding. So I was gonna get into some of that truck driver. Where you at? Right now, I'm in California. I'm in Cali, but I'm headed to Arizona. So and yeah, so trucking can be rewarding, but it's not glorious. Meaning, like I'm gonna tell you some of the things that make driving trucks hard. Besides the basic things that you guys would think. Like the basic thing you guys are probably gonna think is being separated from your loved ones and family for a prolonged period of time, right? So that's right off the bat could be challenging. But some of the things that are challenging are is like getting broken sleep, man. People don't realize, for one, driving is just tiring in general, right? It just the motion of the vehicle and just driving will make you tired. So when you're driving for prolonged hours of the day, and like as truck drivers, we don't really work like everyone else, like an 8 hour shift. I punch in, I do my 8 hour shift, punch out, it's all good, I'm gone. No, we don't. It's rare that truckers work 8 hours a day. At the minimum, they're gonna work like 10 hours, all the way up to like 14, 13, 12, 11 hours, you know what I'm saying? Daily. So, you busting out 14, 12 hour shifts, it could be grueling. And then like when, just say for example, for me, I got it pretty good, but sometimes I still end up in this situation to where you got to go somewhere like a day that I'm not going to make it home, and I got to make a delivery, which is considered a live load, right? I got to go there and make that delivery. I might get off at like, I started work at 5. I might get where I'm going to my delivery point at 5 in the morning. When I get there, that place is not open or it's not scheduled for my time to make a delivery. So I have to wait there, and I might be scheduled to make that delivery 3 hours after I arrive. So that means I get to try to go to sleep for 3 hours, which you're not going to get good sleep because you don't want to oversleep and be late to your delivery. So you're constantly waking up, checking the clock, making sure everything's good. And then when you have to ultimately get up, you got to get up, make contact with the customer, all that stuff, check in, and then, wake all the way up so you can back this truck in position into a dock so it can be offloaded. So then you're gonna try to lay down again, and the truck is gonna be bouncing, moving from the forklift or whatever, going in and out of it. And then you're gonna have to get up soon when they finish unloading the truck. You're gonna have to wake up and move the truck because you're not gonna be able to fall asleep at the dock because they're gonna need another truck to be able to take that dock and get unloaded. And that's what I say, like broken sleep, man. It makes, I think, like the hardest thing about being a trucker, man, are driving tired, driving fatigue, and truckers find themselves in that position often. That's why you see a lot of trucks when they be overturned on the road, they done wrecked all this stuff, they done fell asleep at the wheel, they done got tired. So that's part one, how a truck driver can, um, hold on. That's the reason one, right, where a truck driver can be fatigued and tired while he's driving, right? Find himself in a situation where he's tired because he was getting broken sleep. And now, when you wake up and the sun hits your eye now, it's like you're awake now. When you know you need to be asleep, you're tired. You have to go to work later on the day. And now you got to fight to get yourself to go back to sleep. After you get unloaded, you got to move out their dock, park somewhere off their facility, and then try to go to sleep. Another way that truck drivers get tired is because once we start our clock, like we work off of EF, I forgot what it's called, but it's basically a machine that monitors how when you started work, how long you've been driving, and all that. We're only allowed to drive so much. So that machine, it's like you become a slave to the clock because once you start it, you can't stop it, and you got to get as much work as you can get done while when you start that clock. So it's like, though you may have time to pull over because you don't have to be to your delivery to this point in time, but you may not have enough time on your clock. And if you pull over to take a nap or go to sleep, you won't have enough time on your clock to finish your run, which means what? Your load is going to be late. So then you become a slave to the clock to where you can't even pull over and go to sleep because your clock has been is winding down. You need to maximize your clock. And so you become a slave to the clock. So, but it's a catch 22 because even though the clock really messes us up, because we have, by laws and stuff that we have to follow, and we can only drive so much and all of that. But it sucks. Like, it's not like I could pull over for 3 hours, go to sleep, I'll be rested, and I could continue to drive. No, because when you want to reset your clock, you gotta stop driving for 10 hours straight for your clock to reset and you to get all your time back. I might not have 10 hours to stop, but I could use 3 hours of sleep, wake up, and be good to go. But I don't have it, so I'm a slave to the clock. But if we didn't have the clock, our employer would abuse us and would overwork us, and the government knows that. So they put this clock in place, which is not a perfect system, but it is a system. And one thing about trucking is like, it's like being at the bottom of a hill. What happened? Shit rolls downhill, and being a driver, you're at the very bottom of it, right? And so that's kind of how trucking works, but it is rewarding. All right, where he says, Elizabeth, okay, says hi. Did he want you? Did he want you? Come more, baby. More, baby. Okay, you talking crazy right now. All right, bro. It says, oil up. Diddy is coming. Um, yeah. So those are some of the things that like trucking can really screw you up. Driving fatigue, right? And it's real easy to find yourself wasted. It's nothing worse than like, cause it's not like we punching in the clock and we getting paid by the hour. Most of us are getting paid basically by the mile or the job assignment. So you ain't getting paid for overtime, right? Um, so the faster you got your job done effectively, the more money you have made, right? Um, but you can go places and you can arrive there right early. You can arrive early and you ready to deliver your load so you can keep moving because you still have time in your clock. But you can go to a shipper or a receiver, I mean, and they're like, well, your appointment time isn't till 6 o'clock. And you got there and it's freaking 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. That means you gotta wait all them hours just for them to even start the process of checking you in where you can try to get unloaded, right? And it's just wasting your time. So that means it's been killing your clock. So by the time they let you check in and then you get unloaded, now you just have to do a 10-hour reset because so many hours have already went by off your clock. So you can find yourself in them situations too. And so though trucking is definitely can be a rewarding situation, it does not come without its pitfalls. And everything that goes wrong, they always like, why didn't you figure it out? Why didn't you catch it? Or if the truck break down, you're stuck with this broke down truck trying to figure out how to get it somewhere where it can get fixed or this or that, or you know what I'm saying? If something's wrong with the equipment and the police check out your truck and the lights missing or blown out or anything, guess who's getting the ticket? You, the driver. You know what I'm saying? So it's just always one of those situations where you can also like show up to work and lose money. I don't know how many jobs out there where you can show up to work and actually lose money for the day. Know what I mean? You don't park somewhere and got a parking ticket. Your company is not gonna pay for that. That's coming out of your pocket. So yeah, it's just all them type of things, right? And so, but like the good things is like you don't work with anybody, so you don't have no one breathing down your neck, watching you, monitoring you. They pretty much give you your work assignment and tell you like, look, it got to be here by this time. Figure it out. And so that's the cool thing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't really got no supervisor. You know what I'm saying? So that's like one of the cool things about it. Um, but like I said, and some drivers when they be new, they feel a lot of pressure from their company to be where they gotta go on time. And I always say if you a new driver getting into trucking, it is better to be late to an appointment, right? Because your employer is gonna be frustrated with you that you're late because they're gonna tell you most of the time, all right, here's the load, blah 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 blah. And most of the time you should have enough time to deliver it. Now, most of the time when you can't deliver it on time, it's because of your fault. You was tired. You had to pull over. You had to take a nap, whatever, right? But I would say it's better to be late than be drive too fatigued where you end up in an accident on the road because like I said, man, if your employer ever gets frustrated with you because you was late too many times and they let you go, you can always find another job. You still have a license. But if you wreck and you incur shit on your license, then it's going to be difficult for you to find employment driving trucks. So I always say it's better to be late than be wrecked on the side of the road. You know what I mean? Also, with driving trucks is like they'll try to push you to do stuff like maybe even chill a little bit, do something that you know you're legally not allowed to do, this and that. But if you get caught, guess what? It's on you and you only. So, you know, as being a new guy, you kind of have to, you know, grow a pair and be able to stand up and say, nah, I'm not going to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? And be firm. If you know you can't do it, or even if they want you to do it, you say, I was going to be late. There's no way for me to get it there on time. Because companies, you basically not going to be in trouble if you deliver something late of no fault of your own. Right. But if it's just because you was like, you know, doing bad time management, you didn't get enough sleep, you was they don't care about your excuses. You late. It's like being late to work. But if you late because it was an accident on the freeway, they closed the freeway down, this, that, you call in, you let them know, it's not gonna be on you, right? But it's only when it's like it was avoidable and something you did wrong and why you late is why they're gonna be really frustrated with you. Um, yeah, so there's plenty of times, man, that I've refused loads because they sometimes they'll make some people say, yo, you're not a good truck driver if you refuse loads. Man, sometimes you have to refuse loads, bro. I think you're a great truck driver when you refuse loads because, like, when you just refusing them, that's one thing. But when you're refusing them because they don't make sense, you're not gonna be able to do them, and you trying to protect your license, that is a great reason to refuse a load. Other reasons why you might refuse a load is because, all right, for example, I've seen guys go through this and I've warned them, right? That get in, maybe I referred them to, you know, my company. I might even have trained this dude, right? Um, and I tell him like sometimes the holidays will come up and you're like, I'm gonna just work, I'm gonna grind, I ain't gonna take off, whatever, whatever. You ain't tripping. And then you'll be hanging out with your family members, and now the parties kind of get going. You're having a good time, and you didn't stayed up late, and you ain't getting no sleep. And now everyone else is gonna go home and go to bed at night, and now you have to go to work, and now you're like, "Fuck, I didn't get no rest. I was kicking it with my family." And I would just say, when it's holiday time, unless you ain't got no family or nothing, just take off work, bro. Do not tell them you're gonna go to work and then you have to call off. Now they can't cover someone, get the load covered. They're gonna be upset with you. That's gonna just say I'm cool. I'm not working that day. I've seen so many dudes, including myself. I made it, but I was like, I was tired. I screwed myself. I still made it and got it done. But I know when the holidays come up, I just take off. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm gonna end up something's gonna come up and I'm gonna want to join into whatever. And then sometimes you could be out with your family, people having drinks, you having drinks. If you drink, right, and you haven't stopped drinking soon enough and you ain't got no rest, you putting yourself in harm's way. So I would say on the holidays, if you unsure if you got plans or not, whatever, just take off. You know what I mean? Because you could always on that holiday call in and somebody might be struggling for a load and sign up to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Versus you on the hook for going to work. If you're not sure if you want to do a load or not, be up front. Just say I ain't gonna be able to do it. I got something planned, or I got, instead of you having to refuse the load. I mean, because what happens is your company's gonna be upset with you because you didn't accepted this load, and by the time you realize you wasn't gonna be able to do this load, or you too tired or whatever, they do not have enough time to cover the load, and now the load is late. They didn't have a chance to get it to assign it to another driver. So you want to watch out for those type of pitfalls because those type of things can affect you negatively in trucking. I Zay Williams says, "Where you headed, K9? I'm headed to Arizona right now." You know what I'm saying? All money ain't good money. coach. Absolutely. All money is not good money, man. It is not. You would think all money is good money, but it's really not because it can really jam you up. It could jam you up. Just and the reason why it can jam you up is because you trying to get this little bit of money, every little bit of money, like basically you trying to get these couple dollars, but you jeopardizing the entire bag. You know what I'm saying? Also, I think new drivers find themselves in situations is not learning because, like I said, trucking is not one of those jobs where you punching in the clock. Um, you work 8 hours, you leave, boom, bango. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Nah, trucking, we get paid like six different ways. It depends on what company you work for, but either way it go, you're gonna get paid several different ways, right? And you have to monitor your money, make sure you're getting paid for your money, right? Because they trucking companies will beat you if you don't know how your check is designed and when you're supposed to get this money. Because a lot of times you got to ask for that money. They only give you your original pay, but all that extra pay stuff you get, you have to call in and let them know, yo, I'm about to go into detention, blah blah blah. Then once you go, you got to call back again, let them know you're in, your out time, and then make sure that they sent the money to your machine to make sure you got it. So if you don't know how your check is designed, you're gonna lose a lot of money in trucking. And people will go into them orientation classes and feel like it is boring, and then they don't even know how they get paid, and they're missing out on a bunch of money that's owed to them. What else makes my job hard as being a truck driver? Um, Sometimes like your dispatcher, man, they really want to just get these loads off their books, right? And they'll assign you loads that it's like it's not really possible to do. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna have to do some janky stuff to get it done. And remember, if you get caught, it's on you. You getting the ticket, right? And then sometimes you'll have companies where the safety department is on your ass about, abiding by the rules. But your dispatchers will be lenient and want you and encourage you to break the rules just to get the load covered. And so you'll be at odds. So if you breaking the rules and depending on how strict your company is, you could find yourself in trouble and out of a job by listening. And then you'll say, "Well, the dispatcher told me this and that," and they don't care. It's on you. It's your truck. It's all on you. And so it kind of sucks like that too, man. So you got to realize, man, in trucking, nobody's your friend. You're only as good as your last load you delivered. And also, you're only as good as your license is because if you get caught up in shit, being a team player, now you getting tickets, right? And stuff was happening. What happened? Their insurance can't cover you. You out of here. You terminated, and they finding someone else to put in that driver's seat. I don't care how hard you work. Once you start dirtying up your license, you're gonna be looking for another job. So, and trucking is just one of those things where they try to make you feel obligated to do stuff. Like I remember when I first got in trucking, I would be off work and they would be calling me on my little bit of time I got to be off, like, yo, can you help us out with this? Or can you come to work early for this and that? And, at first, luckily for me, I have a very direct, like strong kind of personality. So I'll be like, no, I'm not doing it. They would try to guilt trip me though. Then I'll say, man, I already been drinking. You know what I'm saying? And so then once I say that, they can't even ask me. But I got to a point like when it's my time off work, I don't even answer the phone. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at it like, yo, my company, they don't pay my cell phone bill. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm not at work, I'm under no obligation to answer the phone when I'm off work. So if I might see my company call me and I won't even answer the phone if I'm off work. If they leave a voicemail, I'll check it and I'll determine what they want if I'll call back or not. But if they calling me about coming into work early, I'm definitely not calling them back. So yeah, man. So that's what we got going, man. We on the road, all things trucking, trying to build up this a platform and because it's so many people that are joining the trucking, you know, such platform, you know what I mean, and wanting to learn how to get into it. And the thing is like they'll be in the rush to get in and not know what they're doing, and their trucking career will be short lived because they haven't learned enough about trucking, and now they're getting into all these situations, and their license is messed up, and now you out just as fast as you got in. So that's why I think YouTube can be effective. I remember when I first got into trucking, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. And so it kind of makes me think about, things that irritate me as a truck driver. Let me tell you, when we go get fuel, right? There will be people that are like literally doing a whole bunch of shit besides getting gas at the fuel line. And I'm on the go. I got a time cramp, like, I gotta have all my shit done by a certain day, and they're just like cleaning their windows. Like, okay, I don't mind that people clean their windows. I think you should clean your windows, right? But start pumping the gas. Like, set it where your truck is pumping the gas by itself, and then go clean your windows. Do not start cleaning your windows, and then after you clean your windows, start pumping gas. Like, you holding up the gas lane too long, man. Get that pump going. Set it. It got to pump over 100 gallons, right? It's got to pump a bunch of gas in there. It's going to take a while to pump. So when you set it up to pump the gas, now take that time to be multitasking and cleaning your windows and other things. So by the time your gas is done pumping, you done and you ready to go. The next person can grab a pump. That irritates me when people do that. What else that irritates me in trucking, man? When I'm in a like I'm at maybe at a customer or maybe I'm at a truck stop and I'm trying to check in and check out. And it might be a female that's at the register or checking us in and out the thing, and she might be kind of cute. And then dudes will be sitting there trying to hold prolonged conversations with her. You don't even live in that state, bro. You're not about to get her number. She's not about to talk to you, and you holding up the line, man. Get your shit and go so I can pay for my shit. Or they going there and buying a bunch of lotto tickets and shit. I'm like, damn, holding up the line, bro. But I will say, when you get in trucking, man, you get like you have thin patience because you're not used to dealing with people all day, working with people all day. So shit could get on your nerves very easily as truck driving. As being a truck driver, I'm definitely a lot more patient now because I come home every day and I have a lot of human interaction. But when I was first like working 2 weeks at a time and I wasn't having a lot of human action, I was losing my people skills and I would find myself getting irritated very easily. So that kind of happens too in trucking. So shout out to everybody in the chat. We're just having a little conversation about trucking. Cruise with me, ride with me. And if you guys have another topic you guys would like me to cover, talk about, just leave it in the chat, and I can, you know, spin the block. You know what I mean? What else irritates me about driving trucks? Um, Basically, when people don't respect your time. You know what I'm saying? That me. But as far as other drivers, this is another thing. You might go to a place, right, delivering, where it's not just you delivering. They got a bunch of docks and shit. Or you at somewhere, and another driver, just because your truck says the same company logo as his, they'll try to come up to you and talk to you and hold a conversation with you when I might be like on YouTube or reading something or doing something else, and I don't even feel like being bothered, bro. But you want to come because you think we're friends because we work for the same company and try to hold a conversation with me. Bro, I'm not about to do that with you. At most, I would do if we got the same company logo on our truck. Or you don't have to have the same company logo, but if they come up to me and they're like, yo, this is my first time here. How does it work here? I'm all good with that. This is what you got to do. Boom, 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 boom. But to try to talk to me and try to make friends with me, bro, it's not going to happen. Just I ain't trying to make friends on the road, bro. That's not going to happen. And you wasting my time from me focusing on something else I would like to focus in on. Um, Zay Williams says it sounds like I would have a trip plan every time I'm off, and it's like that. Okay. Oh, if it's like that, yeah. So I mean, and trucking is another thing that irritates people about trucking. For me, I've been at the same spot for a while now. I think I've been at this place for like 9 years at this specific place that I work for. So I work my way up the ranks. I got like the sweet route, the sweet gig. I was on the day shift. Now somehow I got moved to the fucking graveyard shift, which I don't like, but everything else about it is cool. Another thing is, bro, they will work the shit out of you. Like, and some companies, my company's pretty cool, but they will make it hard for you to make it back home. You know what I'm saying? You trying to get back home, they will try to overwork you and like, yeah, you making money, but you can't even spend that shit because you are always in the truck. Already knew that I wasn't gonna be chasing the bag to that point where I'm just always in the truck, and I was gonna find other things to do to supplement my income and stuff like that. What up? Conceited in the building. Haven't seen you in a while, but man, when you come through, you come through. Thanks for the $10 super chat. I don't have my horn on me, but so forgive me for that. But maybe I can blow the. I don't know if you heard that. Um, that horn for for the first time. Yeah, man. Chat, hit that horn for. Yeah, man. I don't have the horn on me. Conceited fudge, but I actually left it at the house. And yeah, but I gotta bring it, have one in the truck and for the house, because I did say I was gonna step up my doing my lives. I really appreciate you. You know I'm gonna catch you on the back end, and I'll do something special for you when I catch you on the back end, and I'll remember this $10 super chat. But I appreciate you. We out here hustling and we out here striving. You feel me? Salita says, Coach, salute the coach. So yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay, okay. You hit. Oh, you heard that horn? It's not crazy loud, but Okay, you got the horn in the truck. Yeah, yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you for that $10 holla. Yes, I've been telling them everything about trucking, conceited. Some of the things that I dislike about trucking that really did not that I dislike that make my job hard, and then some things that irritate me. Things that make my job hard is driving fatigued and tired. That's the main thing that makes my job hard. If I'm not tired, my job is fairly easy. As soon as I get tired, my job becomes extremely difficult. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Kishida says, yeah, K9, these new truckers don't know about that horn motion. We be losing receipts. Got you, got you. Um, yeah, man. And I'm working on some other stuff too. You guys know. I think this. Look, I want to say this about the space because I like to be positive about the space that we're in, even though we have a lot of crazy stuff that goes on. I've been noticing a lot of dudes doing a little different stuff with their channels and trying to bring like um different entertainment as far as for the super chats, or not even for the super chats, just as far as the show, like far as commercials and stuff, because that's what I'm doing. And was working on doing more commercials and different skits for the show and stuff like that. So that's pretty dope, man. I've seen a lot of guys do that now, and so it's dope, man. I think that we owe our audience as much entertainment as we could possibly bring them. You know what I mean? So shout out to let me make sure I like this. Yeah, can I do it? Yeah, so shout out to the dudes that are trying to bring more entertainment. I don't know if you know about my horn, conceited, because I have a new truck. It's not like the old school trucks where you grab that wire and you pull it down. My shit is just you push it like a horn on a regular car. You know what I'm saying? The road will beat you down. Absolutely, man. The road will beat you down, man. Because I don't know if you guys know too. That's why I do some lives where I do like at the gym, and sometimes I feel like maybe you guys might not be into the gym lives, but I gotta get it how I live it and show some of my actual life that I do. Um, but the thing is, I feel like the gym is essential if you're a truck driver, man, because truck drivers' lifespans don't be that long, man. We have one of the most unhealthiest jobs. So I try to make sure when I am out the truck, I'm going to the gym, even over just lifting weights. I make sure I hit that treadmill, do some cardio to get that blood circulation going. You know what I mean? We have a very unhealthy job. But nevertheless, it is rewarding because, like I said, man, you come to work, you ain't got no supervisor, you ain't got to work with nobody, you ain't got to worry about a bunch of people in your business, you ain't got to worry about somebody slacking off, and now them slacking off is affecting you. So you just don't work in a team type setting. Everything is just kind of on you. But like I said, man, driving fatigue is no joke. And when you are a new driver, you're gonna be like one of those dudes like, oh, my job called me. Let me call you right back. They calling me. Man, my job called me. I don't never answer the phone. They gotta leave a voicemail to see so I can hear what they wanted if it was important to me, and I get back with them. If I'm off work, I'm for sure not answering the phone. I'll talk to y'all Monday. You know what I'm saying? Um, because most of the time when they calling to try to get you to do work you wasn't scheduled to do, or see if you can take this shitty load. You know what I'm saying? Because they couldn't get it covered. So if they can't get in contact with me, they can't even put me in that situation. Mill Cash, what he says, Mill Cash Me Way. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but he says, what you eat on the road, fast food. So a lot of times what I'll do is, when I wasn't on third shift, I would food prep. I would just meal prep my food and stuff and do like that every day. Now I'm on third shift. I'll be too tired to do that. So today I had I'll go out to eat. I'll go buy my food every day, but I'll have it ready for the truck. So I went to Waba Grill and I got the steak bowl. So it was rice and steak on top with the veggies, which I had like broccoli, cabbage, and some sliced carrots in there. And that's what I had for lunch today. So I switch it up, but I'll go buy my lunch now because working third shift, I'll be too tired to get up and cook lunch and do all of that stuff. So I'll try to do that because when I'm at the house, I can buy what I would like to eat. When I'm on the truck, since my load is so tight that I don't, cause I gotta go to make my delivery and come all the way back and do my second delivery and then go home. So I maximize my clock. So I don't have a lot of wiggle room to be like driving outside of my route if I want to make it back home, you know, at the end of my shift. So I just go get my lunch before I go. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, because I don't really like the food at the truck stops. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I might stop at the truck stop, and I mainly get like drinks from there. You know what I'm saying? And the drinks be free because if you a trucker, we get these reward cards, and every time we fill the truck up with gas, we get like points. That is basically money, and we can buy whatever that truck stop sells with it, from food to drinks to whatever they sell. And so my drinks and stuff will be free and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So yeah. Um, Born hustler. I'm a hustler, man. I'm a hustler, homie. Brazil, Kenya, and now South Africa. 5 months straight. Uh, that's what's up, man. I wish I could travel like that, bro. I'm not envious. I do wish I could. And you know what's crazy? Brazil was the very first country that I was supposed to travel to, and I don't know how it keeps getting bumped further down the list because that's what I actually put on my thing. When you guys file to get a passport, they ask you like where you plan on going. I put down Brazil, and Brazil keeps getting bumped further down the list because now I'm going to Colombia, and then after that I'm gonna go back to the DR for Halloween. And then after that, I'll probably try to bust out a Brazil trip. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would, cause really I should just do a Brazil trip first. But cause I think the women in Brazil are beautiful. But I'm going to Medellin. That's basically where I'm going, and I'm gonna make that happen. But Brazil is the place to be. Rio, right? That's where I want to go, man. Rio, and go do it up, man. I promise you. Um, I think like my next trip is gonna be so lit because if it goes like my last trip, it's gonna be lit. You know what I'm saying? Cause my last trip, it was some crazy couple of moments, but I was able to get a lot of beautiful women on cam and have a lot of cool interactions. And then there were some women that I got that looked even better, but I did not feel like going through them if they wanted to be on camera or not. And I still wanted to chill with them. So I said, all right, I'm not going to do content with them. I'm just going to chill with them. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think the women that we put on aren't necessarily the most beautiful women there. They're just the most beautiful women that we was able to get be okay with getting on camera. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy, man. A lot of times they don't want to shoot content, and you kind of have to be good at convincing them to do so. And because I see some dudes that like that's why you might see some dudes that put on less attractive women. Because I feel like less attractive women are more willing and more cooperative. The more attractive women are, the more attractive the woman is, the less cooperative she might be. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing too, man. So it is a difficult to get super baddies on the thing because I've been hearing people say like dudes travel and there's not really baddies. No, when they really well for when I went to the DR, there's definitely beautiful women out there, and the women that I put on camera, which I thought were pretty beautiful, there were even more beautiful women than that, like that looked even better, but it was not gonna be easy to get them on camera. It was just maybe they didn't agree to get on camera, and I was like, I just bypassed them. And once I got enough footage and females agree to get on camera, then I got comfortable with like, all right, I'm gonna kick it with some super baddies. And even if she don't want to get on camera, I still got a good amount of footage. So this is gonna be just for me. You know what I mean? A just for me type of thing. You know what I mean? But because I'm still on vacation as well and I'm trying to enjoy it. But there were some really beautiful women early on that I wanted to kick it with. They wasn't okay with getting on cam, so I didn't even chill with them. But like I said, once I got enough footage, then I was like, all right, if she won't get on camera, if I really want to hang out with her, I'll hang out with her anyway without doing the footage. So that's how that kind of went. But yeah, I'm looking to go to Brazil, man. Because I think Brazil, they just have the most, like, when I say they got everything, like every shade, every eye color, every hair color, like, um, yeah, I think from what I've seen, they have like the most exotic looking women. And that's why I wanted to go to Brazil. And I must say, in Brazil, they look like they're pretty fit type women. Some men may like that, some men may not like it so much. You know what I mean? Because it look like in Brazil they work out a lot. You know what I'm saying? So they might be kind of like, fit, like, and not as, how would you say, not as soft. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll have like more muscles. They like work out and stuff. So that's the other thing probably about Brazil. And then obviously they speak Portuguese, which even though I don't speak Spanish, I can understand a little bit of Spanish easier because why? I grew around Spanish people. I hear Spanish a lot. I don't really hear Portuguese, so I could kind of figure out a little bit of Spanish, but Portuguese, like I don't never hear that. But I have been watching some Portuguese and trying to practice on my Portuguese a little bit. So let me see. Let me see if I could do some Portuguese real quick. So I want to ask, ask a person out there like, do they speak English? So I would say, "Você fala inglês?" That's how I would ask them, do they speak English and Portuguese? So yeah, my Portuguese is crap, but I've been practicing, I've been learning, because I've heard the more you try to learn their language and they see that you're trying and you know a little bit of something, that they appreciate it and it goes a long way. Obviously, I know to the bank, because they always say that. You know what I mean? But I mean, other words I know of Portuguese that I've been practicing as well. Um, but I don't know enough to feel. I mean, yeah, I'm practicing my Spanish and Portuguese as we speak because I want to be able to go to these other countries and the language barrier not hinder the trip as much. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but where Casita been, man? Cause I was like, Casita, did he buy another truck? You know what I'm saying? Where Casita been at, man? Nah, but shout out to Casita, shout out to Born Hustler, shout out to everybody in the chat. And that's what we got going, man. So if y'all ever think about driving trucks, man, no, it is something too that you could get in, get out. So you can be like, you know what? I'm gonna get in trucking. I'm gonna stack up some dough, where I can buy me a house, and then I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna do something else. You can do that too because it doesn't take long to get into trucking. Trucking is one of those jobs that where it's like you could get in pretty quickly. You know what I mean? So I suggest if you are going to drive trucks, have an exit plan. You know what I'm saying? Have an exit plan. You know what I mean? Whether that's buying trucks and having people drive for you, whether that's, stacking up your dough and moving on to something else. I don't know. Maybe you can just drive trucks. I mean, because driving trucks is one of those jobs where you could technically be older and still do it as long as you're healthy enough. It's not like super physically demanding, but it's just definitely one of those unhealthy type of jobs. So that's what we got going, man. That's what we got going, man. I'm feeling good. Um, but like I said, I'm on the graveyard shift right now. And when I say it's garbage, it's garbage. I used to start work at 1 o'clock. I'm starting at like 5 now. So I'm definitely on the graveyard shift. And but the only cool thing is I work 4 days a week instead of 5. I remember when I first started driving trucks, I was working 7 days a week, 6 days a week. It was crazy. Um, where they had me running on recaps. I'm sure you guys don't know what that is, unless you drive trucks. I was running on recaps. Now I never run on recaps no more. I don't have to because, like I said, I only work 4 days a week, and I maximize my clock those 4 days. Um, but man, I was running on recaps, and that just sucks, bro. That's like a whole nother headache trying to figure out them recap hours and how much time you're gonna get back and all that stupid stuff. And oh, another thing that sucks about driving trucks is going through scales. I don't know if you guys are aware when truck drivers we drive, if you're not a local truck driver, you are going to pass scales like every day, basically. And every time you pass a scale, it's like musical chairs, meaning when the music stops, have a seat, right? You're hoping that when the music stops, they're not selecting you. You know what I'm saying? That you get through the scale because when they select you, is a good chance that you were leaving out of there with some type of ticket. You know what I mean? Because they can always find something wrong with your truck or something. They're going to be going through your logs. They're going to be checking your brakes. They're going to be checking for, they're going to be looking underneath the truck. They're going to be checking your light. They're going to be checking your truck out pretty thoroughly. Well, it depends. They got a level one, level two, and a level three inspection. So if you get a level one, it's just kind of like pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? But level two, level three, oh yeah, they really checking shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, fuck, bro, they could put your truck out of commission, all that stupid shit. So I hate going through scales. You never get used to going through scales. Every time you go through a scale, it's a very uncomfortable feeling because it's like going through a toll booth and the toll or the troll dude is right there waiting to shake you down and shake some money out of your pocket. That's what it feels like. And so, yeah, that's what you have to do if you do any type of OTR type of driving. You're going to definitely be passing by scales. Thank God for me, I only have to pass one scale. There's two scales on my route. Actually, there's four scales on my route. But three of those scales from the time that I start work are always closed every single time. Only one scale be open. So I only had to get by one scale. I pass four scales a day, but they're closed. Only one scale is always basically open, and I have to figure out how to get past that scale. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, um, yeah, man. So, and if you want to drive trucks, man, I suggest, you know, that's another thing. If you drive trucks, right, you can mess your trucking job up even in your personal vehicle. Like, say you driving in your personal vehicle, whatever tickets you get in your personal vehicle is going on your CDL license. It don't matter if you get it in the truck, you get it in the car. That shit is still going on your license. So, you know, typically when you see people that have CDLs, they don't drive really fast. You know, you don't be wanting to get no speeding ticket. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't drive crazy and reckless and all of that because you don't want to be getting tickets in your personal vehicle, like I said, or the truck. Um, but yeah, man. And driving trucks can be dangerous, bro. I see so many trucks turned over on the side of the road. That happened. Was that yesterday? It was. Yeah, it was a truck overturned, and the whole truck, trailer, all that shit caught on fire. And thank God it was on the opposite side of the freeway, because they closed that freeway down, and I was able to just get by because I was on the other side of the freeway, and I still had 2 hours to get to my spot, and so that was gonna mean 2 hours coming back. So that was mean I wasn't gonna encounter that on the other side of the freeway till at least 4 hours from the point that I seen that they had the freeway closed down because all of that mess. So I pretty much figured when I'm coming back, it wouldn't overly affect me. 4 hours is plenty enough time for them to get that freeway back opened up. But that type of stuff can happen too, man. Somebody could wreck, mess the whole freeway up, and now it is basically they didn't took money out your pocket. They didn't stopped you from working. You didn't now turn this because remember, if them wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. Now you just stopped on the freeway for hours because somebody wrecked. So that kind of happens too, man. Everything Brazil. I can't wait, Todd, to go to Brazil. I'm gonna be like everything Brazil. Right now, it's everything's Medi, and I'm looking for. Now, for me, I like the Sioux because, like in the Sioux, they had, hmm, how do you say? I don't know. They just be having thick women in the Sioux. You know what I'm saying? I don't like them with like the overly exaggerated bodies, but I think like in Medi, they probably gonna be a little bit more on the petite side. I'm not sure. I haven't been, but that's what I think. But you know, I'm definitely gonna get Medi out the way. Then I want to go to Brazil. I definitely want to check out Brazil, but I think there's no better place to go than because I would go to Medi and then Brazil, but I think there's no better place to be than the Sioux. That's basically why I'm going to go do it like that. Um, I don't know why Vanity don't see that I am live. Cause she tried to call me right, not too long ago, and I wonder if she just don't know realize that I'm live right now. Cause if I answer the phone, I already know it's gonna mess the audio up, so I can't answer the phone. So it's definitely gonna screw up the audio. Um, so when I end the live, if she don't figure out I'm live, when I end the live, I'll call her. But yeah, so that's what I'm feeling pretty good about, man. I'm feeling good about this Medi trip. I would like to go when the Goodfellas is going, but I think they're gonna be going a little too soon for me to make that trip. So I'm lining my days up right now with Coach. You guys all know who Coach is, and yeah, but I'm looking forward to go to Medi and see if what people say is true. Like where I'm gonna be like, all right, the Sioux is garbage compared to Medi, blah 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 blah. I doubt that I'm gonna say that. Um, I very much so doubt that I'm gonna say that. I'm pretty sure that they are gonna have like is gonna have some things better about it than the Sioux, and some things, oh my goodness, hold on, some things that's not so better. You know what I'm saying? So um yeah, so as far as that, I don't know. I don't think that I'll get to the point where I go to another country and I start shitting on the Sioux. I do know that is a popular thing though. Like people will go to another country and then they'll start shitting on the Sioux. They'll be like, "Yo, the Sioux is garbage." Blah 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 blah. I don't think I would ever say that, just for the simple fact that in Dominican Republic they speak a lot more English. I'm sure than a lot of these other countries. They do have beautiful women. Everything is just right there. They have good food. So for me, I think the Sioux would be a hard place to top. But we're gonna find out. I'm gonna find out what all the noise is about. And and then also the safety factor as well. You know what I'm saying? The Sioux is a relatively safe place to go. And so when you factor in all of that, it's always going to be, you know, a contender. You know what I'm saying? A place people now I could see if someone has went there a lot of times and they just outgrew the Sioux. Um, but yeah, I definitely don't have anything bad to say about the Sioux. You know what I mean? Not at all. Um, and then also, I could tell you this: after everything that has transpired, and before everything that has transpired, I'm probably never going to Thailand. Never. I can't even see it. I can't even see if they was like, "Yo, we'll fully fund and pay for you a trip to go to Thailand." I still think I would be like, "I'm not going." I just don't have no desire to go to Thailand, bro. I don't. I don't find the women to be attractive. Then they got all the lady boys out there. It's just too much dumb shit. And it's super far away. It's just nothing that stands out to me that says go there. You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much can just kind of. I used to have that as a question mark. Like even though I didn't have no desire. Maybe I didn't 100% rule it out. But I feel like I might be 100% ruling that place out. You know what I'm saying? Honestly. But shout out to Thailand. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of cool on that shit. But I will be going to the Medi and Rio for sure. You know what I'm saying? Um, Another thing that I've looked at as far as so far when I've been looking at Medellin, it seems like it's cheaper than the DR. Well, I haven't looked up the flights yet, but the rooms definitely seem like they're cheaper. Like the hotels are cheaper than the DR. Um, so I'll say that it does seem like the cost of like you know where you're gonna stay at will be cheaper. I gotta see how much the flight's gonna be. So right now it's already looking like possibly it could be cheaper than going to well maybe not because I haven't figured out prices of everything. But real now, because at nighttime that's when they do all the construction work on the freeways. And all you start work before traffic and you get out of the inner city, you good money. You know what I'm saying? And once you get out of the inner city, you good money. It's like you got some dudes that like driving at night, and that's cool too. So I guess it's kind of a preference thing, but I prefer to drive at night. But I am here to debunk when they say, "Oh man, there's no traffic at night." Bullshit. Look, I'm in traffic now. People be wrecking at night because they be tired, not paying attention, and then also mainly why I be a lot of the road be messed up is because they do a lot of road work at night. You know what I mean? Repaving the highways and all that shit, closing down lanes. That's when they do the work at nighttime. So, yeah. But anyway, man, y'all been great. It's your boy K9, No Fear Travel, just rocking in, checking in with you guys, seeing what you guys had going. You know, trying to bring you guys another quick little trucker live. Seeing, your boy on the road holding shit down. But yeah, so I'll probably wrap this live up. If y'all got any questions when I do my next trucker live, hit me with the questions, man. We can go over it and I can explain to you, my knowledge about it for those that's trying to get into it and whatever else. But like I said, till the next time, it's your boy K9. Like if y'all would have been like asking more questions, maybe I would stay longer on the live. But I think I kind of covered as far as the things that make trucking hard. You know what I'm saying? And the things that make trucking hard is driving nighttime and being tired, fatigued. All right, it's your boy One. Thanks for checking me out. Holla.